and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today.
That's what I said to Tua, by the way.
We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom.
This is just like a snippet, of what I was giving the boys in the locker room at halftime. This is the Monday Night Quarterback Week 14 recap edition, regular season recap edition. Lady and gentlemen, we're into the playoffs. I want to be respectful to all 6 or 7 of our viewers or listeners here tonight. We're a little bit late to get started. For that, I apologize to my trusty co-host. But Mr. Drew, hello. How are you, sir? What are you drinking? What's going on?
You said we're into the playoffs. We does not apply to everyone.
I need to be more inclusive.
5 other people out there. I'm with you. Probably 2 watching. Horse Soldier, we're back on the horse. Horse Soldier right there. It's not Veterans Day. It's not Memorial Day. It's just a day that ends in Y. Well, that's what we got. We're rocking that. Thank you to those fellas for providing $0.0 to the podcast. As
so
always,
far,
appreciative. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. I should say, I'm breaking out some of the big guns today, Drew. I'm not trying to get fancy, I'm trying to stay humble.
Some of us are celebrating, and others are trying to drown the pain.
Yeah, this is. Can you read this? Can you see this?
What's that?
Blanton's.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know if there's more to that.
Speaking of horses, by the way, up top here,
we're both riding stallions.
Yeah, I was given this by my father. Can't remember the occasion, but basically with the charge that, hey, this is this one's kind of a good one. It's kind of a big deal. I was like, all right, only for special occasions. Well, I take this cork out of this bottle, and my friends, that's where we find ourselves this evening. We got so much to get to. We got to get to how we got to where we are right now. Obviously, for show purposes, for the whole league as well, we're covering the toilet bowl. We're not ignoring it. That's for darn sure. Family show. But we're going to get into the playoff matchups as well. I want to issue a correction. First of all, I put out on the message board that the Renegades were this year's Whitney Houston yet again. Turns out my math was not great on that. Renegades regular season record 4-9-1. All right. Next closest friend, Coyotes 4-10-0. So, Drew, double check me, but I think that the Coyotes would then be in the basement.
Are we just doing regular season?
For that, for the apron, yes.
For the beverage / singing portion of the opening ceremonies.
So am I right? First of all, that's my first question. True or false?
Yeah, I have not looked specifically, but if we click on some standings here, we do have a Coyotes at 4-10-0. And then we do have a Renegades with 4-9-1, and that one's high. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, she gets the rest up the pipes. Look at that.
How about it, man? I tell you what.
It's a shame because I heard. Well, I didn't hear anything. I was told she did a great job. So I feel like we're getting cheated. We needed the encore performance because we missed the main act.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, either way. Well,
my follow-up. So, I mean, I don't want to fact check this. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe she ended the year at 2-0-1, 2 wins, because she beat me. I know that much. I was 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think she won either the week before that or definitely the week before, and then she tied in the final week 14. So, like, I tell you what, as far as like,
won 1-1. She's won 4-1 in the division there.
Okay.
So not 2. She couldn't have gone 2-0-1 there at the end.
But I tell you what, man,
1-1.
This is
and
like
that was enough to propel.
This is like the Cleveland Browns at the end of the season, right? They fired the coach. We've moved on to the fourth quarterback for the year, and we'll win 2 out of the last 4 games, and then all of a sudden there's a little bit of momentum heading into 2025, a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism. We're getting to the point now where I tell you what, the Renegades and as a franchise, they've got something to build on going into 2025, and for that. I mean, I know we're putting the cart before the horse. We should probably talk about some other stuff, but kudos to Kara. Nice job. I'm proud of her.
Stays out of the basement.
That's right. All those
somewhere.
With the Renegades over total wins tickets, congrats, man. You're cashing in. Here we go. Drew, my goodness. I missed it last week. For that, I apologize as well. A lot of apologies at the top. Happy birthday. How was your birthday?
Oh, yeah. It was I try to pretend like it didn't happen, as I find myself doing every December 3rd for the last, 5 or 6 years. So I tell Jen, buy me nothing. I'm going to pretend like it doesn't happen, but yet people always forget and they text me and all that. And then I remember, and then I'm another year older. I figure if I just breeze right through it, it never happened.
Okay.
No cakes, no singing. And then I don't get older. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you still look the same, spry, fresh.
I look the same. I feel the same. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. We're allegedly, the great thing about us is I think we're separated by about a month and a half total age. And, allegedly we're one away from one of the bigger ones, so maybe, not a ton of pomp and circumstance we need to have this time, but we got to watch out. We got to keep our head on a swivel for next year. You've always got the threat of the surprise for a big milestone like this. There could be a party thrown in your honor at some point. So like, just a heads up, we need to start putting feelers out early for that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's good to remember. Cause, Jen for 30, I never really partaked in any type of surprise party, really at all. And then for 30, Jen did it a week early, so I wouldn't catch on, and I was oblivious to the whole thing. So yeah, I definitely. And when you're, you can't be having surprise parties when you get older, because then risk of heart attack and stroke and stuff like that. So, although maybe that's more reason for her to throw a party. I don't know. Either way, how about we do some picks? What do you think?
Yeah. All right. Let's do some picks. Good deal. Yes, sir.
Well, you and the Niners there, 11-2, and then we have 5 teams at 10-3: Tsunami, Bandits, Nuts, Titans, Club, all with 10 wins. Renegades, Kings 9, Coyotes 8, Replacements 7, and over half the field has 10 wins. It's hard to separate,
It is,
it really
man.
is. It's hard to separate.
I'm telling you what, the leader in the clubhouse dropped one back.
Well, true. Not to me though, because I didn't pick the Thursday night game. I didn't think that one mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I was just rooting for a tie, baby. Come on.
Maybe that's part of your strategy that we need to adjust for next year.
It was bad. I was on at 7 o'clock. I flipped the Amazon on, and I had the phone in hand, and I'm going to the RT Sports page, and then I don't know what happened. It's like a baby blackout from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I all these kids running around. I think one of them took my phone and wiped his butt with it, threw it across the room, whatever. And the next thing I know, it's 8:30, and I'm like, son of a family show.
Yeah.
Didn't make the pick. So, it happens. It happens. It is what it is. But I'm squarely placing the blame of this on the children. And if I end up losing, or if I tie or lose by 1 at the end of the season, then it's the kid's fault.
Yeah, can't blame you there. We got Tsunami still in the lead, 148, and then 2 back is 69ers. Drew, you're 3 with the Renegades. Caraman was in the lead.
Coming back.
Yeah,
coming back.
And then Kirby and myself at 144. And then the last relevant player is the actual Players Club. 5 games back, 143. I think that's it at this point. I'm not drawing the line anywhere in that. I'm drawing the line below that. Agree or disagree?
No, 100% agree. It's yeah, no way. 135 back. You're 13 back. Not happening. Not
Yeah.
happening unless the top 7 forget to pick all the games. Not happening.
I should let you know that Jason will be happy. I have gone and updated the NFL wins pool as well. And my friend, we've got some drama going on right now. We have 2 teams with 19 wins. And then Kara got 1 win last week for moving herself up to 20. She is the leader. So we got Kara and the Renegades with 20. And then the Golden Titans, 19. And then we've got the 69ers, 19. My friend, we're going to get into the 69ers later. I've even got some behind the scenes inside baseball texting that may or may not have been going on between 2 teams that were playing, 69ers and Land Sharks, leading up to the competition. You know, a gentleman that I've never met before, somebody that I was trying to extend an olive branch to, seemed like a nice, cordial guy. So some information forthcoming on that as well. But what are you seeing here in the NFL wins pool? Are you changing your tune? You had said Kara and the Renegades were going to run away with this thing. Do you agree with that still?
Yeah, I don't have a schedule in front of me. That's really what I need. That'd be my magic 8-ball right now is a schedule. But since we don't fact check and nothing I say can be held against me on the Monday Night Quarterback, yes, I'm sticking with Kara. She's at the 30, she's at the 20, and we're gonna see if she doesn't trip going into the end zone.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. I know that the Steelers have a really easy road to finish out the regular season. I don't have the schedule in front of me either. And then the Bills, obviously, they're pretty much squarely into that 2 seed in the AFC. So, I think they're going to get some wins.
The caveat to that is does it come down to a game in week 18 where a team needs to win or doesn't need to win? You know what I mean? When you starting backup quarterbacks, if you're the Bills or the Steelers or a team that just, it doesn't matter if they win the game or not. That could be the killer.
You're right. Yeah, I'm looking at, man, I don't know, because the Lions are in the same place in the NFC, pretty much in that 2 seed. No, they're in the 1 seed. My bad. So they got to win some games, right? And the Bucks, with Baker, have been dangerous, man. I don't know. I'd be worried about the Titans. Eagles, maybe
the Golden
a little bit.
Titans, not the Titans. We're not worried about the Titans of Tennessee. We're worried about the Golden Titans.
That's a good point. Great point there.
Yeah,
thank you for that clarification. I don't know. Are you worried at all about AJ Brown?
Oh yeah. He's I had him last year and he did the same thing to me. He really, I won despite AJ Brown. You know what I mean? He did not help me last year, late in the season, and he wasn't injured last year. So yes, I do have reservations about AJ Brown. I don't know what's going on there, but
okay,
it's not pretty.
I feel less good about the 69ers chances of pulling this thing out. I think it's a 2-horse race. I think it's between the Golden Titans, not the Tennessee Titans, and Kara and the Renegades. So we'll obviously check back in with that as we continue on. Mr. Mali, would it please the court if we do a quick update of money that has been won so far this year?
The court would be pleased.
All right. Moving over to the rules. All right. We are living in this document right there. Okay.
Boom.
Let's start at the bottom. 77. That was won by Logan again. Was it Logan again?
Yeah, it was Logan again. He beat you to it.
Yeah. I hit it week 14. He hit it this time. I can't remember how much money that was, though. It was 1 year because he won it last year. So how much did we pay into that thing?
That's a great question.
That is a good question, right?
10 or 20 an owner, maybe. Can't remember. I mean, it's at least 120. I think it's 120. I think it's $10.
I thought it was like a $5 hit.
Oh, was it 5? No, I think it's 10. Don't quote me. But
I'm gonna check my records because I have the records here from Dan. talk to the people about, obviously, we don't have any payouts going on there, but recap the division winners. So obviously we don't know who's winning first, second, third place. We don't know who's winning the toilet bowl, but what about division winners, Drew?
Yeah, well, you in the West, 9-5-0. You were 4-2 in the division, 733 points for. Congratulations to Mike, Western Division. Logan in the Central takes it down, has the best record in the league, 10-4-0, 4-2 as well in the division, 723 points for. Congratulations to Logan. That's just, what is he, third now on the money list?
Yeah,
you can't let him win. He'd be first, I think. It's insane. And then we go over to the East and the right coast. We got the Golden Titans with the name change. 8-6, 5-1 in the division. Absolutely destroyed the East. 701 points for. And shout out to the 69ers. 802 points this year. Came in second place in the West. Horseshoes and hand grenades, my man.
I know, man.
Close, but couldn't pull it out.
I borderline felt bad for the man. I don't want to spoil the fun, but yeah, couldn't pull it out, and there's more to come on that. So let's save that for a minute.
Yeah, $40 to the division winners there. Congratulations to the three of you guys. NFL picks in progress. We do have the Players Club, King of the Hill, right? We already knew that one.
Players Club,
there.
King of the Hill.
He did not win the division, so he is still sitting at $60 right now. Toilet Bowl, obviously, we don't know that yet. That's in progress. And NFL team wins. Yeah, we don't know that.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like the 77 pot is $60 a year. I am not 100% on that. I have my records, but I don't want to spend the rest of this next 10 minutes trying to find those things to find out for sure. But it's somewhere in that vicinity.
We'll get back to you next week.
We got another week for this. We can get there. Okay. But ultimately that's what we're playing for. Drew, one more thing.
It's Logan's money, so yeah, it's $5.
I know. We'll figure it out later. I'll buy him a beer. It'll be all right. I think
it was $1, to be honest with you.
Might have been.
I mean, what you got?
I want there's two things that we had talked about doing in the NFL playoffs. So obviously we need to get through the rest of the NFL regular season to live out our playoff destiny here in the CFFL. But I want to start laying the groundwork for who's in, who's out for either. I think we had talked about drafting maybe 7 fantasy players that are on playoff teams and cumulative points over the life of the playoffs, I think was one thing we talked about. And then some kind of a playoff bracket for the NFL teams. Like, hey, pick your wins. Your bracket grows based on the wins that you pick. Is that what we had talked about, Drew? How you feeling about that stuff still?
Yeah, that is correct. I think we may have pivoted off picking teams because we don't know who plays who. There's no set bracket. So that's variable. So it would make it a little hard. And we were talking about fire and forget, right? So we just do one thing, between the regular season and the playoffs. So that way there's no management. There's no, I forgot to do my pick or whatever. It's just fire and forget. We do it for 1 week, which in this case could be a draft. And we brought up the slow draft as well. So that it's not a, hey, Wednesday at 9, I can't be there. And, whoever else can't be there. And then we got to do an auto draft or whatever. So we can just do a slow draft. And we can probably even do that. We can start that Sunday night.
Okay.
I believe. Maybe Monday morning.
Yeah, I'm in for that. So my thought on this thing, and please, for our 7 viewers out there, let us know either in the comments on CFFL website or in the comments of this video here so that we can get some feedback to you. If I don't start receiving any feedback from anybody in those ways, or send me a text or whatnot, but we'll start reaching out in the group text as well to see who's in, who's out. But Drew, my thought is maybe we draft 10 total players or some number like that. And then you're fielding a best ball team each week, right? So at most, you've got a roster one quarterback. You've got, I don't know if we want to do kickers or not. And then, 4 either running backs or wide receivers, some combination. You got to have at least one running back.
How many playoff teams are there? So you're going to have 4 division winners and 2 wild cards.
Yeah, so 14
So
playoff
12.
teams. There's 3 wild cards, I think, right?
They
7.
changed it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think there's 7 per conference. So I think there's 14 teams.
14 teams. And, I mean, we're doing kickers and everything.
I don't know if we need to do kickers.
My thing is like minimizing. So, like, quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver.
Yeah, that's your starting lineup.
Yeah. And you can pick a tight end that would fall into your wide receiver if you wanted, but you wouldn't have to start a tight end.
How about quarterback, running back, wide receiver, 2 flex spots?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, either way.
So
We can do that. But so if you have 14 teams, you're looking at 14 quarterbacks. You're looking at how many usable running backs?
I mean, 2 per.
Yeah, max. Yeah, max 20. I mean, usable.
Yeah.
That's relative term, 18 to 20.
Yeah.
And then wide receivers. Yeah, maybe 28.
Yeah. So you're thinking draft a
14 plus we'll go 20 running backs plus 28 wide receivers. That's 62 divided by 12. That's 5.
Yeah. All right. So you're thinking draft a roster, and that's who you got. And if your team gets kicked out, then you just don't get points.
If we end up drafting 10 players, 12 teams, that's 120 players.
That's a lot.
There's not 120 usable players out of that many teams. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I hear that's what I'm saying. You draft 5.
All right.
That's it. You're 5 or you're 5.
All right. That's what we're proposing, viewers and listeners.
And yeah, this is first iteration. We're just throwing it up against the wall. So you'd have a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, 2 flex, and you draft 5 players.
Yeah. All right. And then dollar amount, are we thinking like $20?
Well, normally we could do this in the league fee, right?
Well, if it works, then we could talk about it next year. Yeah, included in the league.
I mean, if we replace the wins pool.
Yeah.
Right? So then we'd be covered. It's $10 for the wins pool, right?
I believe so.
20 to the win, right? Yeah. So $10 at the wins pool. Yep. So yeah, no change. It'd be we'd be where we're at, and it would just be.
I think talking about the league fee is something that we'll get to after the season is over. I think that the league fee has been constant since its inception, to my knowledge. Obviously, we've added games as we've gone. So, I think with how much time a lot of us put into this league and how much, you and I are doing on the podcast with Logan's help, obviously, and all the guests that we've got that come on and do this stuff, I don't think it's crazy to think about increasing the league fee for this league. So that's one thing.
What did a gallon of milk cost in 2006 versus now?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, inflation. You gotta,
So
we'll figure that out at the end. But
that's one thing that I want to put out there as well. But I'm thinking like $20 for this, for the people that are interested this year, and then we can figure out, all right, what's the league fee look like, and then this will take the place or be in addition to. I know that Kurt was on and he spoke about, hey, as many ways to win money as possible. Sounds great to me. So,
yeah, I agree.
$20, is that out of bounds? Is that too much? All right, that's our proposal. 5 players, playoff teams after the playoffs are set. Slow draft via the group text, $20 buy-in. Who's in, who's out? That's what we're putting up.
I would say you want this to cover the buy-in. So whatever the buy. So right now we're at 110. So I would say $10 would make sense, because then you win it, and then, hey, I didn't win crap this year, but I beat everybody's butt at the end of the season, and I won the redraft pool. And boom, what do you know? I don't have to pay this year.
All right. We'll put it out for 10. We'll go from there.
No, I mean, that's just again, we can adjust for inflation with the league. We can do it for 20 this year if we want to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if we end up increasing league fees, I would say it'd be nice just to have it cover it, whatever the league fee is. So if we make it maybe 15, if league fees go up a little bit, so we sweeten the pot, whatever.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Drew, I want to get through. So that's what we're proposing. So let us know your comments. Send me a text if you need to, but we want to throw that out there. I think this will be a fun thing. I've talked about this with some of my neighbors, and they're like, "Hey, can I be in on this? That sounds amazing."
No, you can.
Yeah, sorry. You got to be in
Invite
the
them.
CFFL. Waiting list is long,
Right.
Are you from Cortland? Blood test did not check out, so we were no good there. I want to get into, Drew, how we got to the seeds, and then I want to get into also the matchups for next week, okay? So I guess let's not breeze through it, right? But let's cover how we got to where we are first. Does that sound good to you?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I want to start at the top. All right. Replacements. Number 1 overall seed. Congratulations. Division winner, $40. 77 pot, as Drew mentioned earlier. I can't remember how much that is. We'll figure that out and let you know. I'm sure you know because you're the one that won it most recently. And first round bye, one of the more important things. One thing I thought was interesting, last week's ranking, number 4 overall. So went from 4 to 1, leader in the clubhouse. He's resting his players next week. How did he get there, Drew? Let's check that out real quick here, shall we? And what was the game of the week? In billing, didn't turn out to be quite that in practice. We had a combination of, well, really it was Josh Jacobs. He kind of pretty much did the job already. And then Tyreek Hill actually caught a touchdown pass. There was some joking going on about, number of children fathered in a year versus number of touchdown passes. And, literally behind the veil, just came from confession. So trying to, do my best to be kind, and maybe skirt that topic. I'll let you talk about that one this week. But with the combination of Josh Jacobs and the prolific Tyreek Hill doing what they needed to do, pretty much took care of business. However, Joe Burrow put a little icing on the cake last night in the 15-point victory that he had over the club. I was getting texts from the club off and on throughout the last couple of weeks talking about, hey, people are saying I'm not a good team. People need to recognize that, I am the champ. I've been here before. Well, he is going to the playoffs. Definitely a force to be reckoned with, but not the champ on this week 14. Drew, what did you see in this one?
Yeah, he pretty much laid an egg with a really good roster. Nothing wrong with the roster. Just 36 points in a need to win situation ain't going to get it done. As you said, Josh Jacobs came out and almost covered the club's whole stat line there, and he did it on a Thursday, which is, it's really deflating when you watch somebody you're playing against go out and just casually stick 3 touchdowns in the end zone on a Thursday. Not fun. Which ironically I think is what the Players Club did last week, wasn't it? Turkey Day.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Didn't he have? Wasn't I think it was a club. Anyway. Yeah, so and then the replacements, Bucky Irving 0. Thanks, Logan. Could have used that last week. Yeah, not so much. No, he blows up for 97 points last week. This week, nothing. And then Tyreek Hill, as we said, he now equals the amount of touchdown passes as he has children this year. Congratulations to him. Needs a few more arrests before he can match his touchdowns, I do believe. Yeah, and then really nothing fancy there. We saw Burrow last night, played really well and got it done, man. So that's 60 big points there for the replacements.
Yeah,
solid outing and 10-4.
For sure. And so we're not going to get into the replacements when we talk about matchups for week 1 because he's got the bye. But I think we should touch briefly on the fact that, I think this is a good team, man. This is not a phony, a paper number 1 overall seed. We gave him a lot of crap early in the season about drunk drafting, going off and fathering his own child on his honeymoon, allegedly. But he was able to put all that stuff aside and focus on the job that needed to get done. And he got there, man. 10-4 on the regular season. Super impressive. Not the best start. I can't remember. Was he like 1-3 to start or something like that? 1-2, somewhere in that range. I don't know. But
yeah, I mean, we can check it out just for good time's sake. He lost to the Bushwhackers week 1, 47-46. Week 2, he beat me 52-44. And then week 3, where'd he go? He lost to the Players Club 34-21.
Ooh.
So he had a 1-2 start there, and then week 4, he beat the Renegades. And so it took him 3 weeks kind of to get warmed up and get his groove. But he found it, and he found it quick.
They did indeed. We'll get to
I think
him.
we're all going to be drunk drafting next year. We're gonna, there's going to be 11 of it. He's going to be sitting in front of his computer. You know what I mean? Ready to go. And we're all going to be like, man, can we make the rounds 10 minutes? I'm out here on a golf course hammer. What are you golfing?
He was golfing. Yeah. That's right. Hopefully he'll be at the house. We could just watch what he does and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If he wins this year, I'm going to be. I'm telling you. I'm bringing my golf shorts, man.
I met a lot of his. I met some of his buddies. Obviously, I met a lot of his buddies at his wedding. So I'll just text them now, and I'll be like, "Hey, I'm claiming Labor Day weekend or whatever that weekend is, Memorial Day. I can't remember. Logan, he's going to be at the house. We're going to do a pool party. Kids are coming over. He can bring his kid, and we'll draft there. And let's do that. How about that?
You didn't have to rent all those friends at his wedding. They're like actually his friends, right?
No, I know. Yeah, the man is he's well friended. That guy, that's for sure. Yeah, 100%. Number 2 overall seed. You're talking to him, Drew. I tell you what. We were sending texts, you, me, and Logan earlier after the Thursday matchups, like early in Sunday, talking about, hey man, not looking good for anybody. I think I had like 20 points scored after like towards the end of the 1 o'clock games, but. Let's jump into how this happened here, sir.
Yeah, you really did, man. It was looking very bleak for you, and the 69ers were cruising. At one point, I think the Niners had they were in the 40s, 48, 46, and I think you were sitting at 22.
Yeah,
something like that. Had somewhere in the middle of the halftime of the 1 o'clock games.
I had
it was looking bad.
Cade Otton, Will Reichard had scored a combined 9. Jahmyr Gibbs played on Thursday, had 9. So I was at 18 there. And then did Tua play at 1 o'clock? I think he might have. So I had 18 plus 13. Yeah. 32 right there.
They were losing to the Jets at halftime.
Yeah. It wasn't
down
great,
like a score or 2 at halftime. And then the touchdown to Tyreek came in the second half and all that. Yeah. So
the number of times that I told my daughter, I was like, hey, honey, it's over. Like, we're not going to get the number 2 overall seed. We're not going to win the division. This ain't going to happen. To only come back like a couple of minutes later and say, Zach Charbonnet, do you see that long touchdown? And then she's running from the other room like, Dad, Zach scored. I mean, it was just one of those days, man. One of those days you kind of dream of, right? We finally got the kids, or at least, Stella's kind of on her way there, but like Clara's all in. She's all in, man. And then she saw Jawan Jennings was scoring. I was on the roof putting up Christmas lights with the 5-year-old. Clara is monitoring the games, because I got to be a dad. It's a weekend, I got to be available. We got jobs to do. I was like, Clara, here's your job. My job is to put the lights up with Stella. Your job is to watch these football games and tell me what's going on and where are we at? Like, do we have a chance? And so many times she would come and say, Dad, the enemy scored. Kyron Williams got a touchdown. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Yeah, it's probably over, Clara. You could probably turn those off. And then she'd come back like 3 minutes later. Jawan Jennings caught another one. We had like 3 touchdowns in the first quarter of the 4 o'clock games. I'm like, Clara, we're live. Like, this is good. The blood was flowing. It was a great day. You're not going to see me in the first round of the playoffs either, Drew. Do you have anything to say about the Sharks going forward?
I think I texted you. The Players Club came on and started this mess with Justin Jefferson, that he can't get in the end zone. He can't get in the end zone. I think he had 5 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 4 in the first 4 weeks and 1 in week 7. He hasn't scored a touchdown since week 7. And I'm watching him do the damn gritty. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then he gets another one. And I'm, oh my God, he's going to put up 5 just because Mike and myself and Jason sit here and dog him I thought he watched the podcast. That's why I text my ass. He must be one of the 11 that subscribed because he was just blowing up. It was insane, and it wasn't enough. I thought he was going to get 3 or 4 more by the end of the game, but it wasn't enough. He had a great game though, and we were T. Higgins last night. You know, you were on pins and needles, and I needed Jamar Chase and Chase Brown to like get in a minor fender bender on the way to the stadium. You know, just like break a leg or something.
Right.
It didn't happen, and the T. Higgins apparently did. Apparently, he left his. I think he left his gloves on the plane or something, is what I heard, and he couldn't catch the football. I don't know what happened.
It was bizarre.
It works for you. It didn't work for me.
I'm sorry. Normally, lately, it's been the other way around, Mr. Champ, Mr. 3 Rings. So, you know.
Last year was last year. This year's this year. So
this year is this year. I had sent Chris of the 69ers a text message asking him to come on the podcast when we were recording yesterday. And he got back to me pretty quick, and he said, no, you know, I would love to do it another day. He had some other things that came up. I told him, you know, him and I were back and forth. I was like, man, you know, 77 points I scored, and I was the underdog at that point. I think he was a 70% favorite per Archie Sports. I know how you feel about that, but that's what they were showing. You know, T. Higgins was projected to get 6 points. 6 points would have tied. He'd have won the tiebreaker, won the division, won the first round bye. So all game. My kids had this Santa shop at school, and, you know, we get these presents that come home. They don't want to wait till Christmas morning. They have us open up these presents. Clara or Stella, I can't remember which one, got me this stress ball. So all game, I'm sitting in my bed and I wasn't drinking because I knew we'd be recording tonight. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to drink tomorrow. I'll have a beverage. But I'm sitting there squeezing the stress ball. And like the most important thing other than T. Higgins not scoring, I'm like, I need to switch hands because I can't just use one hand only. Like my right forearm's going to get huge. I gotta switch this thing up here. So for 3.5 hours, I'm sitting in bed sweating and squeezing the stress ball. Drew, and it worked, you know? It worked. Yeah.
So I needed a stress ball is what you're saying.
We'll send one to you from the Santa shop. Okay.
Okay.
Christmas is coming.
Right now.
Yeah.
I needed a stress ball last night, apparently, and I didn't have one.
We're working.
I had stress. I should have a ball. You know what I mean?
You're on to Cincinnati and on to 2025.
We just Cincinnati. We're on to 2020. We're on to the toilet bowl. You know what I mean? I gotta win that darn thing because I can't let Logan catch me in the money. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man.
I've only been in the league for, you know, like a decade and a half. He comes in last year, you know, thinks he owns the damn joint. But yeah, it was a solid win, man. And how do you feel about a Doomsday on the bench with 2 touchdowns? Is that how do you feel? You had Derrick Henry on bye, Zay Flowers on bye. How do you feel going into the playoffs? Feel good?
I'm staying humble here. Obviously, the first round bye is key. So we need to win one game to get into the dance. You know, I saw Jalen Waddle score. He was at 100 yards at one point. I'm not sure if they took a yard away from him. So he had 7 points at one point because he got the 2-point conversion. I'm like, man, you know, I should have played him. It was at that point because that was back in the moment where nobody was scoring any points. And I'm like, you know, I really missed an opportunity there. I should have played him. Not once did I consider starting Roman Dunze, man. I got to be honest with you because I know, you know, second half of the season bump for rookie wideouts, but like, look at this, dude. 0, 2, 2, 2, 5, 1, 3, 1, 1. And then last week he scores 14 points. Like, I got to be honest with you. I didn't see that coming. The other thing that we should say is that was on 5 targets. So it's not like he went out there and he saw 10 targets or 12 targets and he was just getting peppered with the football all day. He literally caught, what did he catch? He caught 4 balls for 42 yards.
4 passes 2 times. He just happened to be standing in the end zone when he caught.
Yeah. So is that sticky? No. He will not be seeing the starting lineup. When you've got the decisions that I need to make are, you know, we're blessed. We're in a great situation here. Obviously, Derrick Henry's getting back in the starting lineup. But then we've got, if Zach Charbonnet is playing, I'm telling you what, he's in the starting lineup as well. So I got to check on Kenneth Walker. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, he's not coming out of the lineup either. So then we've got either Jawan Jennings, Jackson Smith and Jigba, or Zay Flowers for one spot. That's where we're at. That's the decision.
Good spot to be in.
Yeah. So I'll take it. I got no complaints. Absolutely. No complaints at all.
For sure.
moving on to the Golden Titans, the other division winner, number 3 overall seed. Unfortunately for him, he is 8-6, not 9-5 like myself. He does not receive the first round bye. He will get the number 3 seed, so he'll play the 6 going into next week. We'll talk about that in a moment, but this is how he got it done. Beat the Coyotes 48-37. On the back of Rachaad White and Devontae Adams, man, finally getting in the end zone and doing some things. This is not an overly impressive stat line in a week that had huge points scored, but 48 got it done against 37. What do you see in this one?
Yeah, Saquon was 124 yards. It's hardly quiet. Just didn't find the end zone. So we have Will Levis playing Jacksonville. That was probably a good start. Kirk Cousins. I can't describe what Kirk Cousins is doing. It does not look like very good football. He's throwing for yards. He's no touchdowns and 6 INTs in the last 2 games.
Yep.
And then Brock Purdy. Are they turning around a little bit in San Fran? Is McCaffrey the problem in San Fran? Do you think? Did they finally just said, okay, he's on the shelf. Now we can play football? Because that's what it feels like.
Can I tell you what I think it is? I think it is, hey, here's Seattle, sneaky, decent defense. Here's Green Bay, good defense. Here's Buffalo, good team. So 3 big games in a row. I think those are the games that McCaffrey played. And then guess what? Here, let's go to Chicago. Get a little slump buster. Score some points. Looking ahead, we've got the Rams, whose defense hasn't been amazing. Miami, same boat. And then Detroit, man, in the fantasy championship. Not a great situation there. So
they do get to finish with Arizona, which division game, but you got to feel a little bit better about that. Yeah. So,
but
my question is, so I guess the Titans, if he can go to the dance, then Brock Purdy's playing Detroit that week.
Right.
Ouch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel Will Levis or Kirk Cousins at this point? Not really who you want to be starting.
Yeah, we'll get into his matchup here
in a minute. So,
but
that's not going into matchups, just kind of going over, what he can do moving forward.
He had Nico Collins on a bye, so we can't overlook that, right? He's going to be starting next week. Quentin Johnson, man, I'm telling you what, he gets hit in the hands more times than he doesn't, and the ball sometimes finds the grass. You know what I'm saying? He's not catching everything he's been thrown.
No. But he's catching touchdowns. He has 3 there, 6, 7 touchdowns. We're only in week 14. He's a rookie. No, he's not a rookie. He's 2 years. Yeah, sorry. Who's the rookie? They have a rookie. That's Ladd McConkey. That's the rookie. He's injured. So maybe while Ladd's out, maybe Quentin Johnson's a starter. I don't know.
I'm trying to look at the roster. So Saquon Barkley, Nico Collins, Rachaad White, Devontae Adams. I don't know, man. He's been getting it done, the Titans have, but I don't know. It's not overpowering the roster. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. But he did not lead the league in points.
I think that was the 69ers who are out of the playoffs. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. No, I think early on in the season he may have been, right? I think he
was up there for sure.
Yeah. And then it just kind of.
I think ever since he was on the podcast and we pressured him into not managing 2 teams at once. That's when he turned it around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was slow to start, and then he's been correcting it.
Yeah. We've covered our number 4 seed, the Players Club. They went up against the replacements, lost that game. They were the number 1 seed the previous week. Because division winners get the top 3 seeds, they've dropped from 1 to 4. We'll come to him in the matchups in just a moment. Let's move to the Bushwhackers, Drew. I'm sorry we got to do it, man. Sorry we got to do it. Where you at, Bushwhackers? Bushwhackers moved to 7-6-1, getting themselves into the playoffs. It was right there, man. It was right there for you. You scored 45 points. He scored 62 as the downside. He got it done. I tell you what, man, you got a roster that you would think can play, right? You can hang with a lot of these guys. David Montgomery, stud. Isaac Arendo. You finally, you had him at the perfect time, right? He got hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor on bye, so I didn't really have a choice there.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
yeah, 2 touchdowns. Couldn't ask for more from that waiver wire ad this week.
yeah. AJ Brown, you need more out of him, man. I'm not sure what's going on with him and Philly. Some say it's a good thing that they're beefing. I don't think that's great. And then JMO was in the lineup. Waymo, he did have Waymo yards at 80, but I don't know. Kyle Pitts putting up a 0.
Struggled on the end zone late in the season. Same with Kyle Pitts, who is the Pitts. They just, 4 years in the NFL, we blame it on circumstance, coaching, quarterback play. Just another excuse, another season, another excuse. Tight ends aren't great. They're not putting up, points like they kind of like, you used to have 1 or 2 or 3 guys that could do it. Now it's hard, sporadic. But it was likely on by, so I didn't really have a choice. It was I was rolling with Pitts, and he was the Pitts. But I mean, you look at the Bushwhackers, man. He finally gets Mayfield into the lineup. We've only been telling him for 13 weeks he needs to do it. Finally does, just to beat my rear end. Cooper Kupp touchdown, Jamar Chase. This guy, I was looking at. I always try to average. He had Jamar Chase last night, and he had Chase Brown last night. And I look at it and I try to average their last 3 or 4 games and try to figure out what do I think an average game for them. I'm looking at his numbers and I'm like, 10, 15, 34. So yeah, he's averaging about 90,000 points a game. Yeah, I'm screwed. Yeah, this is insane. 20, 10, 15, 34, 2, 8, 3, 21, 10, 17. You can't. This is like cheat code right here.
Yeah.
They think it's a running quarterback. No, it's not. It's having Jamar Chase in a touchdown-dependent league on your roster because this guy is insane with the he's insane with the football. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And this roster is one that we need to watch out for those of us in the playoffs, man, because tell you what, now that he's actually playing Baker Mayfield, Chase Brown starting running back for the Bengals, scoring a ton of points. Cooper Kupp, man, say what you will. When he's playing, he's scoring points. I know, we went back and forth about him a little bit at draft season.
He was on my do not draft, and you wanted to draft him. Who was right? Neither of us, really.
I mean, it was an up and down year, right? When he's in though, he's playing well. Let's run through his card real quick. So yeah, I mean, he was hurt for a big stretch early, but 11 points week 1, out for a while. 8, 5, 4, 17, 9, 0 doesn't help. 10 last week. Yeah, I mean,
we were both right. He's kind of middle of the road. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not Jamar Chase, but it's not zeros. It's not Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
Also on my do not draft list. So, if you have Cooper Kupp on the roster right now, you probably don't hate that right now.
Yeah. I think, looking at Chuba Hubbard, that's a big one because I think Brooks did something to his knee or there was another injury. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there.
Yeah, Brooks got hurt. Non-contact, it looked like.
Yeah, so that's not good. Coming back from an ACL tear, that's not great. He's got Najee Harris on the bench, who seems to want to score touchdowns every week. Chuba now.
Is he coming back or is he? Yeah, he has an ankle thing again, which
he's got a few things going on. The team is unsure on the status of running back Kenneth Walker, the third calf heading into week 15 with the Green Bay Packers. They're having tests done. Tests, never good for the tests. Yeah. And they're hoping to know more in the coming days. I think he could be out for a bit, man. That's why I'm pretty excited about my Zach Charbonnet stock, to be honest.
I don't think he needs it. Najee, Chuba, still Odell Beckham Jr. on the roster. He showed up this week. He had 1 catch, 1 yard. Still 0 points on the season, but we're holding out hope.
Yeah.
We're holding out. You need him for the playoffs, obviously. Pom-poms and everything.
He's got yards.
Yeah. And then, Ladd McConkey and Cortland Sutton, not doing awful.
This is a good roster.
2 weeks ago. Yeah. 9-9, so he's averaging about 10, 11 points in the last 4 weeks. The hardest part's going to be figuring out who to play week to week.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right. I don't think that he needs Kenneth Walker. I think the Seahawks also agree that Kenneth Walker, maybe they don't need him either. I think they might slow roll him coming back because they've gotten spark with Charbonnet when he's in there, and they haven't gotten it with Kenneth Walker so far this year.
Yep.
So my 2 cents on that one there. Let's go back and see. So our number 6 overall seed. Look at the Hall of Famer squeaking in last minute. Tsunami. He did.
Son, God, you gotta be kidding. Oh, with a loss.
With a loss, Drew. Not even on a victory.
Yeah.
Are
we sure that's right?
Double check me.
We gotta check the math. Josh Allen 40. That was in the group, wasn't it? Where he was at 30 and he said, "No, keep going. I need 40."
Yep.
Well, you got it. It wasn't enough, but you got it. 40. This guy.
So he tied.
He threw a touchdown pass to himself last week. He puts up 40 freaking points this week.
So Tsunami tied 69ers with a record of 7-7. Drew, you run through this with me. Check my work here, okay?
All right. Yeah, we'll check.
Go into the rules. Those two are not in the same division. Tiebreaker rules to determine playoff schedule. Here we are. In case of a tie within division, not where we're at. In case of a tie outside the division, first, head-to-head. Only 2 teams. That's all we need to worry about. Right?
Yep.
We're going to the schedule. 2 teams in question, Tsunami and 69ers. Yes?
Yep, that'd be it.
Where'd they go?
That would be week 11.
Yep, right here.
Wrong, where the Tsunami won 46-31.
That's what did it.
There you go.
That is what did
Math
it.
Is correct. On a 2-point loss to the Big Daddy's Bandits, the Tsunami slide that we call him a snake.
Isn't that
his wing playoffs?
Isn't that so appropriate for how his season has gone so far? I feel like he's lost a ton of games, but look at him, man. 7-7.
Slithering, man. He's very flexible. Just getting it done now. Let's go over the Bandits real quick.
All right.
They got the win. They got 60. Outside of Jordan Addison, nothing crazy. How are you feeling about them? Have they made a step forward?
So one thing to mention, right? If the Bandits didn't squeak this win out by 2 points, we wouldn't. The other question I wanted to ask you earlier, I'll come right back to it. I'm going to come back to that. But
we're weaving.
Yeah, we would be talking. We are weaving. We would be talking about the Big Daddy's Bandits fighting off against the Coyotes and Angelo for the basement. They would both be 4-10, but because of this 2-point victory, Tom is not in that situation. He has staved off Whitney Houston duties. He's not there. I'll tell you what, man, when Jordan Addison scores 3 touchdowns, do you really need to pay attention to anything else? For his roster, I'm not worried because Kyler Murray hasn't produced very well lately. I mean, not at the level that you drafted him for. He did have a 21-pointer against the Jets before the bye, but then 4, 8, 11, and 12 is the projection for next week. Not phenomenal, not blowing the doors off. Achane has struggled lately. I have him in a different league. All right. Struggle is the wrong word. 9, 8, 14, 10, 1. Struggle is the wrong word. So you want him to be your primary big hitting dude. He's not putting up Jamar Chase numbers, is what I'm saying. He's not struggling, but he's not performing at the top pick level that you need him to perform at this stage in the season. Braylon Allen, not great. We had a little parlay allegedly for all the backups, Garendo, Allen, Charbonnet to score touchdowns. 2 of them held up their end of the bargain. I'm going to give you one guess as to who did not hold up their end of the bargain. It's Braylon Allen. I'll save you the trouble.
Oh, we will. Okay. Yeah, just start out there. Perfect.
Yeah. Jerry Jeudy has been doing well though, man. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. I'm kind of formulating as I'm going. I think this is a great toilet bowl roster. I think if I were you, I'd be concerned because he can jump up and bite you a little bit, but he could score, 37 points as well.
Another snake reference. So we had the snakes battling it out here.
Yeah. So 2 Hall of Famers.
Just slithering his way into the Hall of Fame and Big Daddy Bandits, man. You step on him, you don't even know he's there, and that's Watch out.
Yeah. In my father's own words, this team is trash. So I don't think he feels that he's a threat in the playoffs. But I tell you what, the man's got a chip in a chair. And when you've got Josh Allen on your team and he's capable of putting up 40 points.
His team is trash. So Tsunami made a comment that the Tsunami's team is trash.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, we transitioned. Okay, we moved over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my question. I wouldn't. I'm not saying trash, but can he win a playoff game?
I don't think so, man. Unless Josh Allen does this again and he plays against somebody that does not.
All I need is Josh Allen to put up 40 points again. That's all I need.
He did. What did he do last week? 20. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is nuts.
That's the highest quarterback score. It would take forever to dig through the archives to figure this out. Has a quarterback ever scored 40 points?
We don't have the time.
History?
I'm feeling like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning might have done it at some point when they hit the bonus and they threw like 6 touchdowns and they
Peyton had a 7 touchdown game. Was that on a Thursday night?
That was with Denver, right?
Yep. I think it was a Thursday night game. First game of the season playing.
Yep.
Was it the Giants? Might have been. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know. Does that count? Or Mike Vick back in the day had a.
But 7 times 3, Mike Vick is the one that you need to watch out for because 7 times 3, that's 21. That's not 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to be able to run them in. He ran in 3 touchdowns. True.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think Mike Vick is maybe the only one that's ever done it in the past. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There might be a Mike Vick game back there.
And
I
tell you what,
those rushing touchdowns with just tons of rushing yards too, because you got to throw 50 right for the point, whereas you got to run 20. So,
yeah,
it helps.
The guy to ask is the Tsunami because he had Mike Vick in that season, and he rode him right to the Super Bowl, got the victory.
We might, in my spare time, at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep, I might have to dig up some archival facts here. But getting back to the Tsunami, that's gonna be rough in the playoffs, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, we'll get to his matchup here in a minute. We need to cover the toilet bowl, Jerome. We need to be inclusive. We need to do this. 69ers, we talked about them. 72 points, dude, in a loss against me. It's bad luck. I tell you, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I felt for sure I was going to lose that game. I think we've covered them already. Have we or have we not?
We have. We've gone over it. We're throwing it back out there that they are the first one to suck. The first loser at this point in the season is the 69ers. Congratulations, 802 points. We might could hit. What's the highest ever? I know I think we've gone over the 8 something.
It's upper 8s. I think like 870 something.
80 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The archives have it very nicely. 856 Shockers in 2018. 856. There's not a lot of 8s. 823 Tsunami in 2010. 2011 Teabaggers 836. So it's the high 7s, low 8s. Normally he has 802. So he is that's a hell of a season.
That's a bad beat, man.
To be the first one into the toilet bowl.
That's a bad beat. That's a bad beat. And just losses at the wrong moments. Obviously he's putting up a ton of points. I came on here talking about how I was going to overtake him and win the division. I half believed myself when I said things like that. But I don't know. Here we are.
You're the little train that could, man.
I know, man. But I got to, let's be honest. I did not do nothing. I was the number 2 overall point scorer for the season. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we won't fact check that, but yeah. It was good, man. You had a good season, and then you scored when it counted, and that's what the 69ers could not do was score just a little bit more when it counted. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's unfortunate for him, but he
will
will be the favorite to win the toilet bowl.
100%. If you see T. Higgins, Drew, in your daily walks or whatnot, let him know that the check is in the mail and that I really appreciate all of his efforts.
We can edit that out, right?
Oh yeah, shoot.
We're on air, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
This is
All
going
right.
to be posted to the internet live tomorrow.
Son of a gun. Kirby's Kings getting the other bye in the toilet bowl. I don't believe we've talked about the Kirby's Kings today, so let's check out the ghost here.
Well, we got to bring this up because this was Kara's non singing moment here.
Yeah,
tie 54-54 with the Kings, with the ghost.
I mean, isn't that so appropriate, right? The woman is fighting for her life, getting out of the basement, and she does it. She does exactly what she needs to do, no more, no less. Gets exactly the number of points that she needs to not be that number 12 overall seed. She will not be singing next year. My follow-up question that I've hinted at a couple of times and then forgotten about is who is going to tell Angelo or ask Angelo, I think might be a more appropriate thing to say, to sing the national anthem next year at the draft. I nominate his son-in-law.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Jason?
Titans, you're on notice.
Yeah, good luck with that. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. You got to be a good sport about it, right? Like,
I think so. I think he loves America.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I mean, who else pays him, you know? Well, he doesn't win much money. But if he won money, I mean, you know, because America. The Renegades dodge disappointment, and they come in second to last. So at this rate, Kara will win the CFFL in 10 years.
She's on her way.
She's on her way, man. Just 10 years. Actually, it probably took me close to that to get that first win. So, yeah, she's on her way. And then the Ghost. Does he win the bye for the toilet bowl? I don't know the right verbiage for that.
He ties the bye.
He tied the bye. Yeah. CeeDee Lamb, man, had a game last night. You know, Neighbors. He's rolling with them. He's not doing great, but he's still rolling with them. And then Jalen Hurts, man, this guy, another touchdown machine. Not quite 40 points like Josh Allen, but 16, very healthy, very respectable, and he's been doing it all year. He has 1, 2, 3 games, single digits this year. Three stinking games.
Yeah,
it's incredible. So I mean, what do you think? How do you feel about the Kings in the toilet bowl? Are they gonna?
Dude,
they gonna make waves?
Dude, one thing that I keep noticing over and over again is that there are so many good fantasy football players that are in the toilet bowl. Like a lot of guys, I'll see, like I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to go up against him. CeeDee Lamb, don't have to worry about him. Who was there was another couple of ones. My goodness. Well,
David Montgomery.
Yeah, David. Yeah, sorry. Nick Westbrook-Akine. I don't have to
worry about that.
No, with him scoring 2 touchdowns. But all joking aside, Puka Nacua, like super dangerous player this time of year, putting up 20 points. Like he's the new number 1 target in LA with quarterback Matthew Stafford, who is the kingmaker for wide receivers in fantasy sports. Talking about Calvin Johnson, talking about so many other players that he's had recently. Puka Nacua, the most recent. Cooper Kupp, best season ever in the history of wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, yeah, these are guys that I don't have to go up against, but you do, man. Which team are you looking at thinking, this one is worse than the other?
I mean, we were saying, Bob Stradamus definitely having Jalen Hurts and CeeDee Lamb on there. You never know. The good news with CeeDee Lamb is Cooper Rush is quarterbacking, and he's just one mistake away from absolute stupidity. Watching him quarterback sometimes,
that was hard.
Yeah, it's like he started out so good. He gets down I had to pick him up. I was between Cooper Rush, Mac Jones, who else do we have? There was another guy on waivers. Anyway, they all sucked this week, so it really didn't matter who I played. But Cooper Rush, that first drive, he gets down there and he's getting blitzed and just puts it right up over the top to CeeDee Lamb for the touchdown. And I'm like, am I gonna win this? Is this gonna happen? No, I wasn't gonna win. Poop. Family show. But CeeDee Lamb got the touchdown. He got 93 yards, 6 catches. So I still think maybe the Bandits are kind of maybe the scariest team
Okay. Yeah. I
in
mean,
the toilet bowl.
we've looked at all of them. These are the seeds with the caveat that the last two are switched. I had made a mistake. I apologize. But the Renegades 11, Coyotes 12. That is adjusted up here. So my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We adjust on the fly. We're flexible.
hey man, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm not the commish 1.0. That's obvious. He was amazing. I'm doing the
Yeah.
best that I can
Yeah.
with your help.
2.0 designation. You're second best.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to start with the toilet bowl or you want to start with the playoffs matchups?
Yeah, real quick, let's hit the toilet bowl matchups and knock those out because nobody's gonna be watching that crap anyway. Brought to you by Kohler.
The Kohler Bowl. That's right. And brought to you also Drew, by
Also by
the semi-fancy Blanton's. A great Kentucky bourbon whiskey that I'm thinking about pouring a little bit more, but I'm wondering if maybe that's the best decision. So starting to slur already. I'm doing my best.
And if you fall off that horse, don't forget Horse Soldier. There we go. Yep.
Love that. Love that. Thanks to
Got
all
the sponsors, man. Thanks
All
for
right,
all the
let's
money
get it
they
started.
don't provide.
Let's get it started with the Renegades going up against the Big Daddy's Bandits. I'll have you know, by the way. What do we got? Home team is on the bottom. Okay, so the Renegades are traveling to the Big Daddy's Bandits. This matchup was switched. I'll have you note that right now, RT Sports showing it as an even matchup. All right, no spread at all. Drew, we're going to pick against this spread. In this case, it's a pick 'em. Run me through this thing. Tell me who's going to win.
Bandits. Yeah, we just announced that.
Yeah.
One of the best teams in the toilet bowl. And if you're going to be one of the best teams in the toilet bowl, you got to win. And that's what the Big Daddy Bandits are going to do this week is win.
Okay, Drew, I got to disagree with you, man. I think Karen and the Renegades have a team that can jump up and win some games. I think Nick Westbrook-Akine is back to score some touchdowns. I think Isaiah Pacheco is finding his sea legs. He's going to score some points. Sam Darnold, all he does is throw the rock to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, touchdowns. And then I can't overlook Puka Nacua. Maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL in terms of fantasy at this point in the season. I'm looking at the bench. Want to see if there's anybody else maybe worth mentioning. Cedric Tillman, perhaps. Concussion healed. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going Renegades, man. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Moving to the left along our menu, we have your home game, Drew. The Coyotes are coming to your stadium. You're a 5.5-point favorite. How you feeling about your matchup?
Yeah. The Coyotes, man, they're struggling, but Aaron Jones, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson finally kind of came back last week. Amon-Ra, he can have it, 2 touchdowns any week ever. And Aaron Jones is playing pretty good football. Aaron Rodgers playing Jacksonville. Looks like that's who he's going to roll with. He does have famous Jameis on the bench, CJ Stroud on the bench. He can Tommy DeVito on the bench.
Whoa.
A lot of quarterbacks there. I don't know why he's 4-10. Yeah, it'll be tough, man. I don't love it. We got to see if Isaac Guerrero is going to be back in there. Cooper Rush, his ass is going to be on the bench, ass meat bench. Jaden Daniels, I cannot get Jaden Daniels in there fast enough. I don't know why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
he's getting in there, and then Jonathan Taylor playing Denver, probably going to find his way back in. Probably for AJ Brown playing Pittsburgh, because AJ Brown sucks the big one.
I think, hey, something to consider, Drew. Squeaky wheel game. Went off in the media, complaining verbally. This could be a game where AJ Brown sees a lot of targets, man. Just a heads up there. Just a heads up.
Yeah, if Guerrero plays though, playing the Rams, I'm playing him. Montgomery is he's cemented in lineup as long as he's healthy. And then if Taylor comes in, I guess you pull JMO, and then maybe might roll with him. We'll see. I don't know. I'd favor him ass on bench as well. Okay. But we'll find out. But yeah, I mean, I'm picking myself in this game. again, I feel like the talent's there. This could be a close game, though. I don't
Yeah.
feel like the Coyotes are that far off. In 5.5, we're picking against the spread, you said?
Well, we could do whatever. I'd take you money line. I'd take you with the points, laying the points as well. I think this is going to be a domination. I think you're going to crush. But go ahead, finish your thought.
No, I'm not going to crush. 5.5 might be generous. I think 3.5, 2.5 maybe. Yeah.
All right, you're taking you on the money line.
Yeah, field goal.
Coyotes with the points.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. Another even matchup, my friend. We have what is this one? This would be.
This is the playoff. We're in the real ball now, so now we can actually elaborate on some of the teams because people care.
So this is the 4 versus 5 matchup. Bushwhackers on the road against the Club. Club couldn't get it done in the division. Did make it to the playoffs. 9-5 record, nothing to sneeze at, man. But they're hosting a tough team with the Bushwhackers coming into town. Tell me what you see here, Drew.
Yeah, the Bushwhackers are hot. The Players Club, I'm sure that they're still taking slight offense to Kurt's comments. Win on the Monday night quarterback.
Ooh, great point.
Yeah, he definitely called out the club by name on purpose, and yeah, so this will be interesting. They're calling it even. Baker's in the lineup right now playing the Chargers. I like that. Mahomes has the Browns. Both games are 45-point over/under. Still like Baker better. I'd roll Baker. Hopefully he keeps him in there, although he just beat me with him, so I'll probably take him out. He has Jamar Chase in the lineup playing Tennessee. Ouch.
How do you feel that's going to go?
Yeah, Jamar Chase is going to eat like he does every week. Every week. With James Cook, Brian Robinson playing New Orleans, Bijan Vegas. Not awful. Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed put up a big old goose egg. Did he have an injury?
I was wondering that myself. I'm not sure. Wide receiver put up a donut for his fantasy manager in Week 14 loss to the division rival Detroit Lions last Thursday night. Especially
with Dobbs out. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look like an injury.
So who's he put in for him? Mike Evans.
Have to.
Yeah. You got it. Mike Evans.
What about Ray Davis? Does Ray Davis need to get in the lineup?
No, James Cook.
All right.
He has both. No. Until James Cook is injured, Ray Davis is right there on the bench.
What about
Mike Evans.
Rico Dowdle.
No, Mike Evans.
So, all right, we're going James Cook, Brian Robinson Jr., Bijan Robinson, Mike Evans, Sam Laporta. That's a good lineup.
Robinson, and Evans.
All right, I think we gotta consider Stafford over Love, right?
Got to. Playing Seattle though. Yeah, I mean, what are they projecting? 11. Stafford 9. Playing San Fran. Yeah, they have a projection higher for Love on RT Sports, which is it's about as useless as tits on a fifth. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a close game, man. Who are you taking? I'm deferring the second half.
All right. I gotta have you know that I bought a allegedly purchased Los Angeles Rams division winner ticket back when it was like 7-1 a little while ago. Okay. I think they're like plus 150 right now. So I don't know if I'm gonna ride this thing out or if I'm gonna try and hedge somewhere, but I don't know. It's looking decent right now. I got to watch out for Seattle. Who am I picking in this game on the even matchup in the pick'em? Who am I picking? Dude, I'm going Club, but I think this is a knockdown, drag out fight. I am supremely concerned about all the Bengals, but given they played Monday night, Drew, and all the points that they just put up, they're playing early on a Sunday. I don't know, man. Maybe there's a little bit of letdown. Sometimes in those like Cincinnati, Tennessee games, it's just like low scoring. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm picking the club, but I don't feel great about it.
Well, so if we go by that reasoning, I needed Bucky Irving to keep it in check. I needed him to stay calm. What did you do? 155 yards and a touchdown. The next week, he lays an egg. Well, last week, I needed Chase Brown and Jamar Chase to just take it easy, just lay low, take the week off, try to beat Dallas with your defense. And what do? They blow up. Chase Brown touchdown, Jamar Chase. They have 2 touchdowns, crap ton of yards, yards on yards on yards. So if we go by that logic, Chase Brown and Jamar Chase playing Tennessee, using your logic, they're going to stay quiet. And if Jamar Chase doesn't put up 15 points, I'm taking the club.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think for myself because I'm the number 2 seed. I'm taking whoever is the highest seed coming out of these 2 games that we're going to talk about, this one and the next one. Like, who do I want to play next? You know what I mean? I don't even know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's really even. It's even. We're going even.
I think this might sound blasphemous, but I feel like I'd rather see the club. You know? But I don't know.
Yeah, you'd rather see the team that's going to score less points next week.
That's right.
My story.
Amen to that. All right, going on to the 3 versus 6 matchup. We got Tsunami on the road going to the Golden Titans. Titans favored by 9.5 points. Drew, we're picking money line as well as against the spread. Lineups are already in there, rocking and rolling. Golden Titans. He's already got Nico Collins back in the lineup. Saquon Barkley, Brock Purdy, Brock Bowers. I don't know, man. That's looking tough. Not looking good for the Tsunami. Tough, right? Do you feel differently?
No, 9.5 point dogs.
Look who Josh Allen is playing against.
In the playoffs, Josh Allen playing. God, their schedule sucks, man. See, this is what I'm saying. We were talking about now they have New England, New Jersey, New England. So they're going to win unless they don't play week 18. They're going to win their last 3 of their last 4 for Kara in the wins pool. See, that's where having the schedule helps. But they do have Detroit this week, which sucks for them.
He's projected. He's projected for a modest 15 points.
15, yeah, just not a big deal. Just 15, just.
But the game over under is 54.5, which has to be one of the highest numbers I've seen all year.
Yeah, when you start approaching 55, you're getting up there. And I'd probably take the over, to be honest with you. That's I could easily see this game going over 55. Jaleel McLaughlin, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Christian Watson, Mike Gesicki, Brandon Aubrey. Outside of Josh Allen, Brandon Aubrey is the most impressive name on this list.
I know. I love my father, but I just don't see this going well.
Yeah, which he admitted, I think. Once Dobbins went down, I feel like the air kind of left the sails there. And that's kind of all she wrote. So, I see the Titans. I see the Titans winning this against the spread.
Yeah, I see that as well.
So
you're laying the points is what you're telling me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We got to be worried about Saquon. We got to be worried about Nico Collins. We got to be worried about Brock Bowers.
A lot of Brocks.
Yeah, he's going with Brock Purdy.
Purdy one.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. What about Rachaad White is out of the lineup now, was in the lineup.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, okay. All right. So it's set. We got the club over the Bushwhackers. We got the Golden Titans over the Tsunami. We got the Bucknuts over the Coyotes. And then we split on Renegades and Big Daddy's Bandits, Drew.
We did.
My goodness. We did it all.
We did, man. There was a lot there.
Yeah, there was a lot.
We had a lot to get to. And I think we missed anything, do we?
No, I don't think so. I think we did a lot. We did it in like an hour and 17 minutes. So kudos to us. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Yeah, that was good. I feel like that was one of the better shows that we've had, man.
It was good, man. It was good. We
Okay.
Catch it fun.
Hey, we're putting it out there. You know, I know Logan's traveling. He's got a lot of parties going on, whatnot. Anybody wants to join on the episode next week, we'll be recapping week 1 of the playoffs and the toilet bowl. We'll be talking about money lists. Maybe at that point, we'll have an idea how much money Logan needs to get paid for winning the 77 pot.
Maybe. Or maybe we just stiff them.
It's possible. All things are possible. Commish 2.0. It's a whole new world out there. Who knows what's going to happen? And then, friends, we need to know who's in for the playoff fantasy extravaganza.
Redraft.
Yeah, we need a name.
That's what I came up with because it's a redraft league, but we're redrafting. Redraft squared.
Redraft squared. All right.
Yeah.
CFFL redraft squared. Who's in, who's out? Everybody should be in. It's going to be a ton of fun. Let's do it. All right.
I think it will be.
Drew, happy birthday. Welcome to 1-, a big milestone. Thanks for spending the time. This has been fun, man. I've had a good time. You got any parting words for our friends?
It's always fun. We've already mentioned the sponsors twice. They don't mention us, or they don't pay us enough to mention them a third time. Yeah, that's all we got.
All right. As I squeeze my stress ball going into, first round bye, we'll be focusing only on you this week, Drew. We'll be pulling out a win for you in the toilet bowl. This is the one thing that you haven't won in this league,
Nope.
As well as what's the other thing? The picks?
I win Super Bowls. I don't win toilet bowls. I don't win picks. I don't win survivors. I don't win King of the Hills. I don't win 77 pots. I sometimes don't even win the division. I just win the Super Bowl.
At the end of the day, that's what we're here for, though. Let's be honest. You got
I got 3 of them. So everybody else is in tow except for your old man.
That's right. I only got 1.
Out of 3. You got 1. Well,
but
make it 2.
But
and you'll be 66% of the way there.
That's right. Hey, time will tell. My friend, it's been a pleasure. Until next week, friends, we'll catch you later. Good luck, coaches, in the playoffs and in the toilet bowl. We're out.
Go get 'em.